Call to order the July 26th meeting of the Board of Ed. I'm going to ask everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Alex?
And if everyone could just stay standing for a moment of silence. Yesterday, we lost a member of the Sachem family. She's a retired librarian from right here at Samoset, Mrs. Virginia Goldhammer. She's a mom of a Sachem alumni, and she was just a very amazing person.
Thank you. Everybody can take a seat. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Pelletieri for the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Just a brief report. We are in summer, and so we hope everyone is out having a healthy and fun-filled summer. Some of our students are participating in the many programs we have here in district. For example, we have an enrichment program at the elementary level. We have over 580 students enrolled in that currently in our first session. Another 580 students in our second session. Which is really outstanding for our families and our school community. We have 234 students in our high school credit recovery program, which is a positive and a negative, I guess, right? In terms of having kids that having to take these courses, but very wise to do this work in the summer so they can move forward. We have 167 students in our middle school program. The board this past year took an action where we mandated students who failed 2 or more classes in middle school to attend summer school. We had 25 such students, and 23 did in fact attend. So that actually is higher than I might have expected, and we do appreciate that the parents took it seriously. The kids are taking it seriously. I know they're getting a good, solid education. I visited their classroom a few times down here. That program is in Samoset. We look forward to their success as they move. Hopefully, our 8th graders then would move on to 9th grade, as is the plan. That is certainly what we want for them. That's all I have really insofar as an update at this time. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so we're going to move on to 1C, the approval of minutes for the July 2nd, 2023 reorganizational and regular meeting. Can I have a motion? Mr. Isernia, seconded by Mrs. Volpe. Questions, discussions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Do I say no? No no's, right?
Correct.
Okay, motion carried. All right, we are on to number 2. Do we have any visitors? Okay. We are on number 3, business, consent agenda A through B. Can I get a motion? Mr. Baumann, seconded by Mr. Picciarello. Any questions, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. We are moving on to number 4. Personnel teachers A through P. Need a motion? Mrs. Volpe, seconded by Mr. Baumann. Discussions, questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, we're on number 5 on page 9. Personnel support staff. Consent agendas A through D. Can I have a motion? Mr. Isernia, seconded by Mrs. Volpe. Any discussions? Oh, wait, I need motion. I have 2 motions. Okay. Any questions, discussions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, moving on to number 6 on page 11. And that is personnel administration. Consent agenda A through B. Any of a motion? Mr. Picciarello, seconded by Mr. Baumann. Any questions? Oh, sorry, did I skip?
No.
Leaving one, going to the other.
One more, Mike.
Yeah, leaving one, going to the other.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
You made me nervous.
You made me nervous.
I'm sure you made her nervous also.
All right. So did I have 2 motions on that?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions, concerns? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Could I just jump in for 1
Yep.
second? And thank you very much. And so I want to once again thank Mr. Haran for his many years of service to the district upon his retirement. And tonight we welcome someone who's been in the Sachem family for some time now, but will see a different role here. Dr. A, as she is affectionately called, Georgia, is here in our audience tonight, and she will be our new principal at Somerset School as of August 1. So congratulations, Georgia. We know you're going to do amazing things there. We truly appreciate your stepping up to this challenge. We know we are here. The Sachem family is here to support you. Students, families, parents, staff, administrators. It's going to be a great many years to come at Somerset School. So thank you.
Do we want to take a picture, Terry?
Sure, we can
Yeah.
take a picture. Yes. Who's taking it? Oh, you're going to take it, Aaron?
What?
Come on.
Okay, we are on page 11, number 7, contracts A through D. Can I get a motion? Mr. Baumann, seconded by Mr. Picarello. Any questions? All in favor? I'm opposed. Motion's carried. We are on page 8, right? No, 12, sorry, for donations, number 8. I need a motion. Mrs. Volpe, seconded by Mr. Isernia. Any questions, discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. We are on number 9, Committee on Special Education, page 13, A to B. Can I have a motion? Mr. Baumann, seconded by Mr. Isernia. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
All right, we are on number 10 on page 13, Policy Update 1900, Parental Involvement. I need a motion. Mr. Isernia, seconded by Mr. Picarello. Any questions, discussions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, on number 11, monthly reports. I don't think we have anything.
We haven't had anything.
Right. Do we have update on applications to the committees?
Yes, if anyone is interested in joining our board committees for this year, there is a link that has been posted on our website as well as on our social media pages. If anyone has any questions, they can reach out to my office as well. And we've gotten quite a number of applications so far. So
Great. Awesome. Thank you. Do we have any visitors? No. Okay. Any old business?
I will just jump in and offer that we're going to keep this as a kind of standing point here so we can come back to it. I don't have anything new to share with anything. We have not heard, Chris, right, from the state, SUNY, or anyone in regards to, well, the Board of Regents in regards to the findings of SUNY at this time. So it is still planning on, that is still moving forward. I know we started to reach out to some of those families. Ms. Sarakis, you started to reach out to some of those families, have some of those conversations. And also transportation has been a request for transportation, the hiring of a nurse. Those things are starting to move forward.
Any other old business?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do we have an idea of how much this is going to cost us right now? You know, like the transportation cost, the nurse cost, the
The nurse would be contractual. I don't have that number off the top of my head. I could work up something for transportation. I would only know roughly the tuition, which is, if we have, right, we have about 23 students at 15,000. It's about $345,000 in tuition, roughly.
And then the cost of the nurse and the bus.
Correct.
Like-
Correct.
The nurse, though, we will be billing out the other districts that have the students attending.
I don't believe we have any 14, any board discussion items tonight?
No.
No, okay. Anybody have any future items for discussion? Mrs. Stephanie?
I guess when everything comes in, what we're going to charge the committees with. Also, if we could get an update on what's going on with Union Avenue.
I can provide that real quick right now. And we do have weekly, monthly meetings on Fridays with the folks from the town of Brookhaven, the county, and our attorney. And those are progressing. And we continue to work through any obstacles or issues. So it's still moving forward. Not done yet, but still moving forward.
Mr. Isernia?
Today, you shared that article about Section 11. Should we talk about that? Is that going to affect us? We need to budget any. Maybe that's a question for a future discussion item. I guess it's there's no contract yet between the coaches, not the coaches, the referees, officials, and Section 11, right?
That is correct. I know that still being worked on currently, but yes, as of right now, there is no current contract, and that is a concern to every parent, every school district, every community member. I'm sure a concern is Section as well.
And the other thing is, could we get a presentation on what's involved in our athletes getting cleared to play? What's involved in their physicals? What's not involved in their physicals? I'm curious myself because you saw the LeBron James's son again now.
Sure.
So what is there? Is there a state mandated requirement? Maybe
There are requirements. There is no EKG as part of that requirement, but there are requirements, and we can get that for you. Yes.
Okay, because that's the kind of thing that I think maybe our legislative committee could work on. If at least an EKG for certain high contact sports might be something that we might want to advocate for as part of a physical. But
You could be running down a basketball court, no one near you. And I had this happen to me with a student, and I'm sorry. So that happened to me a while ago, and that just kind of welled up there, Mr. Isernia. So I apologize.
I didn't mean that. It's a future
You would
discussion
not
item.
know. You would not know. So I lost a child when I was principal at Bryan High School, and a simple EKG could find that. And it needs to be mandated by the state or health authorities, and it is not because it's costly. And we bring, I shouldn't say that. I apologize. It's frustration.
And I think this district would be willing to pay for those EKGs for our athletes.
We had a free program here just 2 years ago. Ms. Trombetta helped put it together with our health folks. They did an incredible job. We got a couple hundred kids there. I wish we had a couple thousand kids there because it's something we need to do. And to bring light to it and have that discussion,
Yeah, that's
I'm
all.
happy to do
Put
that.
that on the agenda.
I have a question. We would mandate it for all our sports kids, right? Yeah, if we could.
Yeah, there might be some legal question as insofar as could we do more, and what if a parent didn't want to do that more because it's more invasive in terms of our knowledge about their kid, and maybe they didn't want that done, and would we be able to say to them, well, now your child can't participate? Like, there's some question around that, I'm certain.
I guess we could charge our attorney to figure out whether or
Yes.
not that's possible, right?
Any other future? I'd just like to open up a discussion, maybe next meeting or the one after, about Frost Valley. I know that we had discussions about it being the whole 8th grade in all the buildings, and then there were talks about, we received a lot of emails about possibly moving it back to being just earth science. I don't want that to get kind of ignored again. We kind of said, well, we'll revisit that at some point. This is probably the time
It's
to
interesting.
revisit that.
We do have the committee now looking at these kind of joint, making sure that we're we want to be along the lines of the same page. And that would be a trip that 8th graders might take in all 3 schools. And Mrs. Hines is helping to run that committee. Has that come up at all, Frost Valley?
It's come up quite a few times as we've had
Okay.
discussion. Unfortunately, we canceled our last meeting because we didn't have enough people, quite frankly,
Summer's
to
tough.
kind
I
of make those
understand.
decisions.
Yeah.
We put out another date for today, and of course, we understood people weren't available today either. So we're going to put out a couple of dates for August. And Frost Valley is probably one of the number one things. I just implore anybody who's on that committee to please fill out the form, that doc that we sent out, because it's really important that we have everybody's voice, even if you can't attend, so that we know what everyone's thinking of. But definitely, Frost Valley was a big talking point on all levels, really.
Could we, are we still accepting members onto the committee?
Yeah, I actually, Miss Milkatash, I believe, she had asked to be on it, so she was, added onto our list. So if there's anybody else,
Can we
we'd be
send
happy to
out
do
an
it.
email to the PTA again? Because I know a lot of people who didn't receive the email, and it might
Sure,
have been
I
like
see
a
mi-
spam thing.
Yeah, I think that Annie sent it out quite a few times actually,
yeah.
and then she also
So
sent out a
maybe
Google
check
form.
the whatever, I don't know.
How many people do you have on the committee right now, Ms. Hines? from
About
the
30
community?
something.
About 30?
Yeah,
You're going to add more?
but we don't necessarily have all 30.
I got you. Okay.
Both Sabrina and Stephanie have been at each. It's, and especially with the summertime,
Sure.
but it's timely. So we're trying to get as much voice, but it would be great for the board to kind of weigh in too on their thoughts
Yeah, I
around
mean,
Frost
there are
Valley.
kids in earth science in 8th grade and 9th grade, right? So we have to be conscious of that as well. And what would be our obligation if we in fact say this is our trip? And then
Yeah, and our committee
costs
broke it up
associated with it.
already. I think a big decision that we made was a cohort of trips for students who kind of went through the pandemic, and then students who are coming fresh into our school district. So that's how we have it broken up right now.
I don't want to put out there the work we're actually doing because it has to be presented to the board,
Sure.
and we don't want to give people
Great point.
a thing, but there's a lot of work on this committee that's happening, and there's a lot of ideas that are amazing, and Erin's doing, a lot of breaking that down. So is there a way we could get people to email us, even if they don't want to be on the committee, some of their ideas? Because it would help in our discussions, because it was really productive, the meetings I've been to.
People could always email the board or Ms. Hines or myself just saying, I think this would be a great trip. When I was in 5th grade, we went to the Statue of Liberty, that type of thing. Obviously, the world is out there, right? And we have to make sure that there's some educational aspect to it, a fun aspect to it, and that we can afford to do it, and that we want everyone to be able to do it, and that everyone can afford to do it.
And there's a
is
lot,
important.
we realize there's a lot here locally
Sure.
that would give the exact same experience as going very far away, and even better. So if other people would want to send those in, because all of us don't know how great Long Island is, but there were some amazing ideas for our kids. It was pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right. So no more future discussion items, right? We're good with that. All right. So we are on to, that's it. So our next meeting is going to be on August 16th, 2023. We do not have executive session tonight, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Baumann, seconded by Mrs. Volpe. All right. Have a good night, everybody. All in favor? Aye.
Somebody should say no.
Yeah, please. This is the fastest. All in favor? Opposed? All right, motion carried. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you.